Okay, those of you just in, turn off your cell phones. And again, congratulations, Kevin. Let's give us an overview.
Well, first, I'd like to congratulate Texas on a great year. You know, it's not easy to get here, and Dave's got them back here, and obviously I'm sure a lot of the Texas fans are excited about that, so congratulations to them. Well, I think the story of the game was obviously Jackson Kowar. He was outstanding on the mound. I think he had 13 strikeouts and 6 2/3, and changeup was working all day long. He had really good fastball command on both sides of the plate. His breaking ball was very, very consistent today, and when he's able to have both his changeup and breaking ball going with that fastball that he always has, he's really tough to hit. So congratulations to Jackson, and obviously Jonathan here had the big 3-run homer for us, which gave us a little bit of some breathing room. We struggled early in the game to get a big hit, and I think that was probably the biggest hit, obviously, in the last 2 games for us. So we're excited about moving on. We're excited about having a chance to play again on Thursday, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for the student athletes, and we'll start right here.
Jackson, just a couple things. What was working for you, and how important was it to get out of the first when they had runners in the corners and 1 out?
Yeah, I think it was huge. The first inning, I really left. The first 3 batters, I didn't make really any quality pitches to. So I was lucky that I was only first and third and 1 out. They lined 1 out to the left fielder. So getting through that inning and kind of being able to settle in, especially after we had just scored in the first, it would have been a real letdown for us if I had just, given up a 2 or 3 spot there in the first right after we had just scrapped a run. So getting through that first was big, and then I was able to kind of get the fastball command working, and then everything else played off that the rest of the way.
A reminder to identify yourself. Sam, we'll go with you here.
Jonathan, take us through your at-bat for the 3-run home run. Sorry. I apologize.
Or
Sam
not.
Conn, ESPN.com. Sorry, Bill. Jonathan, could you take us a little bit through your at-bat where you hit the home run, and 2, what was it like watching Jackson work today?
Yeah, I think it was a 2-0 count or 2-1. I was just sitting dead red that whole at-bat, and, I got the pitch I wanted, and I put a good swing on it. So I'm glad I came through like that. We needed that for our team, some momentum, and, we needed that. So, but with Jackson today, he's unbelievable. He's done it the whole year for us, and, he competes, and that's why, he was, a first rounder in the draft because he competes and he likes to win. So, his changeup was working today. He had first pitch strikes a lot, and, his fastball was on. So he did really well today for us.
Okay, Mike, and then back.
Mike Malloy with the Orlando Sentinel. And Jonathan, talk about Nelson's at-bat right before yours. I mean, until that point, you guys had left 8 on through the first 5 innings, and you were set up to do it again, and he comes through with that big single, and then you get the home run. I mean, to talk about Nelson's at-bat to finally kind of break through and get some momentum.
Yeah, that bat was huge for us. We needed that. Yeah, Nelson, the whole year, he's a clutch hitter for us. He battles at the plate. He rarely strikes out, and he competes at the plate. That's what we needed, and he came through clutch for us. And they say hitting's contagious, so just pass it on to me, and I'll pass it on to the next.
Okay.
Blair Kirchhoff with the Kansas City Star. Jackson, we found out right after you left the game that you're the first guy to have 13 strikeouts in a College World Series game since Garrett Cole, Trevor Bauer did it for UCLA back in 2010. Is that meaningful to you in any way?
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Those guys are doing pretty well for themselves right now, so that's pretty cool company. So yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, more questions? Okay, Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. After you come out here and maybe play less than your best baseball as a team yesterday, Jonathan, it seemed like this team was more focused today. Is that fair to say, or just it seemed like you played at a much higher level, more like Florida baseball? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, it was win or go home for us. Our backs against the wall. We definitely could play a little better. Moving on. We left some guys on today. But we pulled it out at the end, and that's all that matters is the win. So, but yeah, moving forward, we'll focus just like we did today, and keep continuing our success.
Sam.
Sam Conn, ESPN.com. Jackson, after the 2 runners got on in the 7th, you got the 2 strikeouts. What were you thinking, and how were you able to kind of dig deep to get those last 2 outs before you came out?
Yeah, I think kind kind of the two guys got on just like the two guys in the first, was just fastballs that I left, thigh high or mask high. And, I tried to take a deep breath, started raining, so it kind of felt, it was a little cliche out there. But I knew that if I just made a couple quality pitches, we had, Johnny had just had the big homer. So we had a lead, and I knew that the only way they could come back is if I started walking guys and falling behind in the count. So I knew if I just attacked them and you'd get 2 ground balls and we'd still be up, it's just 2 runs. So my main focus was to avoid the big inning. And then luckily I was able to get to 2 strikes on both the guys and make a couple quality pitches. And then I thought Jordan did a phenomenal job and came in and attacked the hitter right after me. I think that was big for us.
More questions for the student athletes? Guys, thank you. Sleep fast. We'll see you Thursday. And we'll hold on till they clear, and then we'll have questions for Sully. Okay, Kendall, let's start with you.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Sully, is that the best you've seen Kowar stuff throughout his career? And I guess number 2, I guess as you sit back and watch a guy just deal like that, what kind of goes through your mind as a pitching guy?
Well, the biggest message before the game was if we're going to get back into this thing, we needed to have our starters go deep in the game. We couldn't go to the pen in the 5th or 6th and use some guys. And after the first inning, I think he'd thrown about 25, 26 pitches. And, just reminded him that he's going to have to, be a little more economical early in the count. So to get almost 7 innings out of him with 13 strikeouts says a lot about how he was able to zone in and focus in after 25 pitch first. But as far as the stuff is concerned, it's always good, but he seems to have that one inning where it kind of gets away from him a little bit, and today that's just never happened. And I think you go back to the Ellis at bat where you had, Clemens on deck, and he might have thrown maybe 6 or 7 fastballs in the inner half, and I think we got to a 2-2 count, and I'm sure everybody in the ballpark's thinking, when's he going to break out the changeup, but I didn't feel like one to go 3-2 and be an obvious fastball count and then bring Clemens up. And that's what I told him before, when I went out to the mound before the at-bat was you're going to have to stuff some fastballs in here and stay with me on this. And I think that was a defining moment in the game to be able to strike out Ellis. But as far as his stuff was concerned, when he has his changeup and break a ball going like he did today, it was really good. It was really good. So, yeah, to answer your question, that's probably the best I've seen him, to be honest with you, with the whole package. With everything concerned. I thought he was really good last week against Auburn, too. He was really good against A&M during SEC play, but, I think on this stage, I think this is about as good as he's pitched all year.
Mike
LaPresta, NCAA.com. Kevin, when you have to play with the kind of urgency you played with today, how valuable is it to have a bunch of guys who have been through this before, who understand this?
Yeah, I think it helps. And I don't know if we played with less focus on Sunday night. I think to be honest with you, I think Texas Tech just beat us. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Texas Tech, and I know when our team doesn't play well, but the fact of the matter is Shetter came in and did a really nice job for a couple innings. Our guys didn't see him very well, and, they had a 14-pitch at bat against Brady Singer, and, their lineup is deep. I think they just beat us. I think today if you look at the game, we left a lot of guys. We had basically loaded nobody out and didn't score. And we put a bunt on, and we got to a 2-0 count, and we didn't get the head out, and we took the bunt off, and then there's some other situations we put a first, you had first as runners at first, second, put a double steal on, and we don't go at second, and there's some mistakes we made today, and now a lot of times you win a game like that 6-1, and a lot of those mistakes get forgotten really quickly because you win the game, but certainly today was no cleaner than it was on Sunday, and we've had to go to Michael Byrne again. He threw 21 pitches, I think, on Sunday, and he threw about another 30 today. And we're going to have to get some help on the back end of the game, especially if we start playing consecutive days here. If we play on Thursday and if we're fortunate enough to win, play Friday and Saturday, Michael's not going to be able to throw in every one of those games. So we're going to need some help. So, it's at this time of the year, you don't want to nitpick your team too much because the bottom line is a win's a win at this time of the year. And I'll let them enjoy it. But we will talk about some things, maybe shorten up some swings with runners in scoring position. I think our swings are getting a little bit too big, and the wind's blowing in like it was Sunday night. It's not a very forgiving field.
Okay, Mike.
Coach, I assume it's going to be Leftwich on Thursday, and if it is, can you just talk about him as a freshman, developing from somebody who wasn't a weekend starter at the start of the year to somebody who's now going to pitch in the 3 elimination games for you?
Yeah, he's grown up an awful lot. He's not really a freshman. I tell all of them the same thing. They've been through the SEC. They've been through a regional, super regional. Both Jack and Tommy, pitched outstanding against Auburn on Monday night. Held them to a couple runs over 7. So Jack's certainly capable. He's got a live arm. He's one of him and Tommy are the next in line. I've said that all year long. After Brady and Jackson leave after this year, those are the 2 that are next in line. So it would be nice to be able to save Tommy for a potential 4th game, but we can't do that. We're not able to do that at this point. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because it looks like the weather might be a little iffy tomorrow, and if we get pushed back to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then maybe Brady's got a chance to pitch 3 times in this tournament. I don't know. We'll see.
Teddy?
Teddy Cahill, Baseball America. Sully, when you look at Texas and the job that David has done over these 2 years, I mean, just from afar, what did you see when you saw them today and were looking at them on film?
Well, in all fairness, we don't play in our league, and we haven't played them a whole lot, and so I can't really speak on that as far as where they were and where they are now. But I will say that in watching the games against Tennessee Tech, they beat a really good Tennessee Tech team. That little right-hander that was really good, and their lineup was good. And teams like that come in hot, and they go to Oxford and beat Ole Miss, and then they go to Texas and take them to a game 3. They're very, very capable. So I was impressed with how they were be able to win that series and get back to here because, the common person probably doesn't know a whole lot about Tennessee Tech, but I think the coaches throughout the country that kind of watched them play a couple games ago, that's a really dangerous club, and for them to get through that super against them, I thought spoke volumes about where their program's at right now.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. You talked about them kind of surviving that super regional test. Obviously, you guys have been pushed in the regional and the super, and it seems like every time you're pushed, you guys dig deep and they respond. And again today, do you feel like that experience in the postseason has strengthened this team for this moment? And do you like the level of play that you're seeing right now from this group?
Well, I've liked it all year long. I don't think you can get to this point and not feel good about your team. But the reality of it is we put ourselves behind the 8 ball a bit by losing Sunday night. So we're going to have to lean on a freshman on Thursday to pitch really well for us. And, there's going to have to be somebody that steps up, whether it be Tyler Dyson, whether it be, Hunter McMullen, Jordan Butler. One of these, couple of these freshmen or Tyler Dyson is going to have to pitch in an important game for us if we're going to get back into it because obviously we just, when you have to win 4 in a row, you put yourself in a position where some other guys have to step up.
Okay, time for one more question if anybody wants to take it. If not, congratulations. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
Sit down, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out.
I'll keep it brief here. So, since we don't have another game to worry about today, given the weather, how happy are you, not just that you won, obviously, but that you were able to get this in without a delay and not have to spend all night here at the park?
Well, yeah, you've been around us enough to know that those 10, 12-hour days because of the rain. But you know what? I wouldn't say I'm happy about it. I'm glad we got the game in, but the uncertainty of tomorrow certainly, be thinking all day. And what do we do with with our pitchers for practice day and off day? Probably not gonna be able to do much, so it's going to be an indoor deal. But I don't really worry about the weather. It is what it is. We're kind of used to having to deal with the elements, and it is what it is. And we'll just look forward to playing again when we're supposed to. That's it.
Thank you, Sully.
Thank you. So.